Dream of the hair. It blankets her body in a gentle embrace, silvers her shoulders, borders her face. This vision of her sister's supple long hair, a casualty of cancer, scissored with care. She puts a lock under her pillow each night, and in the morning, as she turns on the light, the hair she wished her sister still had would magically appear to soften her fear.
Choices. Several family photos portray a little girl whose blonde bangs and bobbed hair created what her parents called a moon face. She would sit patiently while her mother snipped soft strands until mostly forehead revealed an uneven cut from side to side. Years of trimming were a loving effort to keep tidy an active daughter whose long locks now tuck behind her ears.
In your garden, getting lost in lilac coneflowers, mingling with the bees and hummers, your grin another bloom. I move out of the wilderness, tall as a sunflower, turn to talk to a stranger veiled with fear, the pandemic always near. I ache to see lipstick and balm, teeth smooth, white, chipped, stained or even gapped, a nose Roman or crooked. I yearn for a bouquet of expression, see smiles not hidden by cloth, a native plant of spontaneous laughter growing in public soil. See this. You are an earth flower, a dream blooms. In light, your face glows like moon. The soul tastes hunger, you swallow it whole. Take the truth and the seed of hours. These are the best days. A smile with teeth, lips, no mask covering freckles. I can still see stars in your eyes, smell rose in the garden of you.
traveling the world. Listen more carefully to lilt of voice, passion of clicks and glottals, smiling words, the staccato or flow of any language, and hear hope after the handshake with a stranger who also seeks a better world. Speak more plainly, not the spew from politicians, desperate salesmen, sirens' promise of fairy tales come true. Embrace the conspiracy of peace, sprinkled among bitter crumbs of war, while fists open to calls of understanding, amity of frozen hatred and newly grounded tolerance, a lost dream awakened from the darkness of despair.
A crack in time. There is a note missing from the scale, a galaxy torn from the sky, a rift in the universe. Since the day Mother could not remember my name, the day she asked if she was older than me. Can this cracked globe be glued back together? This inverted world ever be set right?
Tai Chi. To hold the world between your palms, to push it up and over your head, then side to side, caressing it like an ancient Greek statue of a naked man. I hold this globe, carry it close to my flat chest. It becomes my chi, the life force flowing in and out of me. The teacher tells us to imagine we are holding a small ball. I cup my hands and the circle becomes an orb of fire. I push it left and right. It contains the ocean, waves and slow motion. The strangers next to me all have cancer. The ball becomes a balloon, lifting each tumor outside our bodies into the air where the wind takes it to a place of despair, where it can never escape or recur. Later at night, the ball surfaces again when I lie next to you. It becomes a tulip bulb, a red geranium in a broken pot, a nasturtium in full bloom outside my window. Like the way you reel in your pike, the river's surface blue and full of light, the dancing glitter and celestial eyes, the moon recalling the ghost of a child, I hold your soul close.
Dog walking ranks at the top of daily exercise in my neighborhood. Every breed, color, and size 4-foot it past the house and toward the lake, where one woman in particular jogs with her brown spaniel over sand and rocks to catch early morning sunlight riding waves onto the beach. This pair's singularity of purpose to reach the shore and seek new scents for the dog and sea glass for her follows the same daily routine, each intent on searching while ignoring others who pass by with lidded coffee cups and more dogs as the day slides into full throttle. These ritual outdoor workouts never stop, rain or shine, sleet or snow, a strict regime led by furry personal trainers.
It was cold. Have I told you about that night, city lights not yet flickering in the distance? We gathered, as every Saturday, on the sand by the lake. We were all old enough to have had some restraint, still young enough to ignore any scolding or complaint. It never takes long for the dog to be off leash, nor the beach to invite some bold response to its waves and the way that tree reached bare arms to hold us back. Branches bent to scold us as we all rolled up pant legs and folded in among the waves that rolled up against our clothes and pulled us farther out. Did I mention it was cold?
It was an unmiracle, a dream turned inside out, as I watched the petals of the golden lily fall to the ground all at once. I ached for them to take wings. Instead, they lay silent until covered with leaves and snow. All winter they lay, color draining away, their decay nurturing the dark earth. But in spring, they came again to life as a poem.
Once, in summertime, your beauty was as sharp as the dagger of a bee. Once, with scented breath, you whispered sweet seductive secrets in the night. But now that summer's past and youthful plumpness rendered wrinkle thin, I see white petals creamed with age and living sap reduced to pepper dust. Now, my summer muse, I slow the fading of your life in memory's clouded window.
Or, we must die because we have known them. Die of women. Rainer Maria Rilke. Or perhaps because we have not. Die of all that women have not taught us about our need to row and portage disconnected boundary waters. Die of beauty that seeps away unseen like rainwater beneath stones. Of longing for what they withhold, as the sand-covered desert seed yearns for the torrent that will soften its crust, loosen it toward its long-awaited flowering. From the flesh of our chests not having pressed against the warmth of theirs. Of musical words we have not heard, and crying that has not billowed into our beings, like mist into a tent set up beside the lake. Of golden things we have not told them, of our mind's desire to enter them like a university, and our bodies' need to know their wilderness trails. Of secrets that have not welled up in us, asking to be casually revealed on some evening walk through winnowed fields. Die from never having viewed the meadow through the gentle, almost imperceptible swirls in their cabin's bubbly window glass. Die because we have not lain beside them, a blessing hand resting upon the bulge of life gathering to its own astounding truth. Die the way the solitary puma finds a hidden place in the timber and lies there upon a couch of brown pine to watch reclining sun throw shafts of orange gold light through the branches one last time. Luz Alumbrada lived alone in a lighting showroom, all her furnishings aglow. Light-headed in the afternoon, she would lounge in twilight, sipping her elixir of glowworm dust, diluted in waters of reflected moon. There was no darkness. There was no night where she moved as phosphorescent shadow through halls of lamplight and chandeliered rooms, luminescent virtue trailing behind her like moonglow.
Though there is no darkness, no night where Luz lives among luminous lamps, electric candles, and chandeliers, she, too, houses a shadow side. Obscuridad hides within her, sometimes shows its face, her propensity to paranoia. At night, Obscuridad slips into her dreams, turns out the lights and breathes on her neck. No wonder she rises in the night, trailing moonlight, drinking another draught of glowworm tea.
Ode to Memory. My old friend, why break down like a Buick with a faulty axle? I am half a man. I trusted you. You promised me the world. Now all words are cryptic code. My tie constricts, my suit pinches. I cast a shadow of locked moments, the enigma of my mind unopened. Did I speak out of place? Have I killed a man? I can't remember. I have lost all my poker chips. You were my eyes guiding me through canals teeming with basque and musky. Now I forget where I put things. Shirts, keys, watches. I am swimming in your most dangerous eddy. A turtle hovers on a beach log, his lizard face erudite and wise. I will tread water and write a poem. I will baptize my poetry with what little I have left of your light, while the turtle hesitates, moves out of its shell, dives back into dark water.
I follow my shadow home. I follow my shadow home.
Inevitable. Rain is the great equalizer that washes over all with no concern about who will get wet or stay dry in any random place. It could be a Parisian street in Caillebott's impressionist painting with passers-by under umbrellas, each pensive walker oblivious to others, the linear buildings and slick street, not unlike any present city, such as Chicago or New York, with locals and visitors straining against the elements, heads bowed and all disappeared into themselves. Each walker focused on a dry place where a guarantee against life's vagaries offers a momentary refuge before the next onslaught. I finished the canned cling peaches floating in pear juice you preferred over heavy syrup. The last sweet slices mingled with other reminders of our life together and apart, each following her own current, both swimming upstream as age washed over you. When the last of your pantry ran dry, I waded through what my heart knows of our shared laughter, your wisdom and patience that encouraged me to breathe and stroke, kick and glide in deep water and the shallows, where it's just as easy to drown, if not alert to a sea change. When long ago bikini fades into one-piece swimsuit, a different slant on life sifts like fine sand through grasping fingers And there's no way to swim back or float for hours in youthful innocence when radiant tan and sun-streaked hair held sway over caution. It's now when you meet yourself coming and going in a watery world of memories, salty aftertastes mixed with sunburned longing for another era when waves washed hopes and dreams over you, when the scattered sea glass, smooth pebbles, and bleached shells hadn't been collected yet as reminders of passing time before yesterday, and more frothy rollers pound the beach into tomorrow.
Taken aback by beauty, we stand at the safe distance observation creates. Attention makes a draft that draws toward us the air her form has passed through. Air still warm, disquieted by its brief sweep across the gentle curves and indentations of her backside. Love in the time of virus. Sequestered, we are a planet of lepers, none of us sure we are really clean, each poised to banish everyone else to preserve the illusion of our singular well-being. Even the weakest among us is lethal. What can it mean? Someone said it's as if God had sent us to our room, told us to think about what we've been doing. Just what have we been doing? How long have we practiced this distancing, sharing space, not ever looking into faces, interacting with phones as if they were the cherished other? Now, having only screens to keep us company, we long for the actual contact we took for granted. A thing too small to see, too flighty to track, goes now back and forth between us, threatening death to so many. But when has it been other? When has death not been slinking between us, always ready to snatch away the ones we love? Now we notice him everywhere, leering triumphant from the numbers, gloating over the statistics, ever more adept at geometric progression. We have gotten good at touching without love. Now we must learn to love without touching. Contorted limbs of oak zig and zag at obtuse angles, tangling up in striated clouds and a swatch of blue-gray sky. It was the time of dusk, with not enough light to keep working outside. He stood looking south, breathing in belated peace, releasing all the little things that had weighted down his day.
Somewhere beyond the tree line, the sun is sinking behind gray clouds. I sit in an almost silent clearing. Nothing moves except leaves swaying in the breeze and bats silhouetted against the sky. If I could fly with them, circle and turn, dart and spin, would I learn to love approaching darkness, the dance of dust? Clouds diffuse the early morning light as I go to the raspberry patch. I watch the bee fly from leaf to leaf, the daddy longlegs explore. But here on the vines, where the foliage has turned to green lace, I see coppery beetles, their armor gleaming as they eat at the life force of the vine, as leukemia ate yours. For 13 years you fought the onslaught of one disease after another, with your own bright armor of faith and courage, synthesis of hope and tears. I picked the beetles off the vine, but could not remove the cancer cells or fill the holes they left in your immunity. These raspberries remind me we still savor the fruits of your love.
Inside. It's all still in there. He's not. Stuff he took care of, built, rebuilt, used, worked on, worked with, thought he might someday need, or saved for just in case. A peg wall of tools hung in order of use. His prize from the Red Lodge car show. Even the '57 Chevy two-door hardtop, white and cherry red with white wall tires and glass packs. That's still inside, along with tack, extra hackamore, curry comb, and the Mexican hand-tooled saddle his grandpa gave him when he left home. A box of chipped dishes, one free with each tank of gas. Mower, weed whacker, and a stack of National Geographics, 1962. The dollhouse cabin he built of pine branches from her first Christmas tree. Still there on the low table he made for her to play at. Air compressor, power washer, elk antlers, and that worthless sander that was harder work than sanding by hand. A plywood graveyard put up outside each October, and the fogger in its original box. Old oak dresser with mirror gone and nails in the hanky drawer. Half-used cans of paint, press-back chair with broken leg. Lots more behind those doors. No sounds anywhere around. Everything's still inside. He's not.
According to palmistry, major lines mark life, mentality, heart, fate, success, health, and marriage. Usually the longer and deeper each formation, the better. As if that's all there is to success or failure, our destiny etched from birth. Much more can be measured by a handshake or helping hand with heavy groceries, serving dinner at a soup kitchen, or waving hello to a passing stranger. On the other hand, clutching a gun doesn't allow for touching a tree's furrowed bark or catching autumn leaves that drop like orange and golden rain. Nor do pocketed hands that only feel the darkness permit the pursuit of elusive butterflies, a chance to dress the world's wounds, or on rare occasion, catch the brass ring.
Washing dishes. Dirty dishes gather in the sink again, awaiting my attention. Food smudges, grease, blood-red tomato sauce. Hot water pours from the faucet onto the dish soap, creating suds. I see the shampoo with which I washed your spaghetti-length hair. Little gurgles of water pour through the funnel I used last night. Your gurgle, splashing water against the bottom of a cheek-shaped bowl. I see your face, your smile, when we blew bubbles bigger than the ones falling through my fingers. Your giggle when they hit your face. This is not what I expected on this gray day, caught inside the house with dirty dishes. Thank you for brightening this dull, boring chore, the way you brightened up the spaces when we gathered around your wheelchair and practiced ways to bring you joy.
Water. Not like Helen Keller, who learned to count syllables, W-A-T-E-R, did I come by water's strength. My first water came in blood-rich placenta where I swam inside mother's womb. At 3, I took sudsy baths with my younger sister, almost my twin. I found it yet again at Camp McLean each summer, jackknifing into a clear lake, learning to swim, and riding the waves on skis. At 16, Matt the lifeguard taught me all I needed to know about sailing, lessons I hadn't learned at school. Later, there would be skinny dipping, feeling the shocking cold lake water spread over naked skin, and swimming under a waterfall with my first love in a gorge carved out by a glacier. But for now, I am sitting in a fire ring, looking out at Green Bay and seeing cliffs covered in trees. The clear light of the sun skids across the bay.